Hi, this is Kim with Mom's Creative Moments. Thanks for joining me today. Today we are actually coming to the conclusion of my Oahu series. I feel like we just started, even though we started it in January, so it has been a little while. But this is our second album in our second volume in this set of albums for this one vacation. We take a lot of pictures. And so I think, I hope that you have enjoyed this, and I hope that you enjoy this this one last page that I did for you. This was a page that I just decided to go ahead and do using a sketch from the virtual crop that happened this past weekend. And so you may recognize it, although I did change it just a little bit because I do that. But I hope that it's useful and gives you some great ideas. And yeah, let's check out my workspace and get started. All right, so this is my workspace for today. Kind of crazy. We are at the end of this album, and I don't know, it's a little bittersweet to come to the end, even though the vacation's been over for a long time. But that's okay. So you'll recognize this as the last page that we did in this album. And we're going to flip this over, and this is going to be our last page. Normally I would have probably have done a 2-page spread for this, but there were a few pictures that I really didn't need, and so I decided, you know what, I'm just going to do a 1-page spread this time around. And we're actually going to, because I'm recording this at the tail end of the virtual crop this month, I decided, you know, why don't I do a virtual crop sketch for this last page. So this first sketch for the virtual crop in November is the one that I'm going to go ahead and kind of follow. I'm going to tweak it a lot because of my pictures and the way that I kind of wanted this page to proceed. I am tweaking this a lot, but I do have 4 3x3 photos. I have another photo that is going to be 3x4, and I actually have a 4x6 that I'm adding to the mix in this layout. So it'll be exciting to see how it all comes together. So let me just set this sketch to the side, and I'll try to leave it so that you can see it and be able to keep it kind of in mind as we work on this. And I'm going to cut a few pieces of paper and punch a few things before we get too far started. So this is a border page that is in Serene Waters, and I am going to take this strip right here, the sunset strip, off of it. We flew home in the evening, so we left Oahu as the sun was going down, and arrived back in Utah in the very, very early morning hours. It was a long flight, but the vacation was so fantastic. It was totally worth all of it, I think. So we're going to use this strip as a portion of our layout, okay? Not included in the sketch, but we're going to use it anyway because. Okay, I am going to cut this. Oh, wait a second, let me make sure I remember how I did this. Okay, so this paper is going to be cut at 5.5 inches. Okay, and this is going to be the shadow paper that has this scalloped edge on the bottom on the sketch. Okay, so that's going to be this paper right here. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to set this piece aside. And then what I'm going to do is come in here and we're going to punch a few things. So I pulled a couple of Boilermaker cartridges from my carousel, and one is this one right here, which is called the Elements Edge, but it has always, I think it's meant to look like wind, but for some reason it's always looked like waves to me. So wind, waves, we're going to use it because of some circumstances in the photos that I'm going to show you in just a second. And we're going to use this one, which is the rope, to accent it. So we're going to punch 2 of those. I'm going to grab my Boilermaker system here, and we're going to get a little bit rolling a little faster here because I feel like I'm in slow motion. Okay, this paper is from a CM pack a while back that is escaping me, but I'll find out so that I can put it in the description for you if you are interested in trying to find it. I thought it would make a good rope, so we're going to punch the rope out of this particular paper. I love the texture that's in it. See how it gives the rope lots of shadows, and I just love that. Okay, so done with that paper. We can set that aside. Let me grab this and get rid of it over here. Okay, now we're going to use our Boilermaker and we're going to punch this paper right here. And this paper we're going to punch only one edge on. And I'm trying to decide, I think I decided that I liked this edge better than this one. Okay, so, and that's only important because I want my waves to be going in the right direction. So let's see, if we are punching this way, then the waves are going to turn out, if we're punching this way, then my waves are heading this way. So I think that's the right way. Punching this way. Yeah. Sorry. Sometimes I'm directionally challenged. So if I want them to be headed a certain direction, then I like to double, triple check. Okay, so there I've got my waves. Get rid of these. Set that over there. Okay, now I need to cut this piece, and this piece needs to be 3.5 inches. So I'm going to come in here and make sure that this piece is 3.5 inches. This much is part of the sketch, so so far it's all the same, but it is going to deviate here in a minute, so I just want you to be prepared, as it were. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to mount this darker piece, which I think was okay, sorry, my camera had an issue. for some reason it just all of a sudden will decide that it's done and it just closes up, which is not helpful when I'm trying to record for you. All right, so this piece is going to go about 1/4 of an inch up from the base. Roughly. Okay, and then this piece, or rope, is going to go across the base of our waves right here. You can either put it so that it's overlapping some of the wave punch or not, depending on what you think you like best. I put mine high enough to where it overlaps just barely the base of that punch, that waved punch. Okay, now here's where it gets interesting, because you can see that this is meant to go this way on our sketch, but I am not doing it that way. I'm doing it upside down like this, and I'm going to go ahead and put this behind it. And actually, before I do that much, I want to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and adhere the waves to it so that I can see how high I need to go when I adhere it to the page. So I'm just, because this sunset strip is only like 2 inches wide, I'm just barely covering the very edge of it down here with my punched edge. And then I'm going to put it on here somewhere. Can't decide if I'm going to put it all the way to the edge or if I'm going to leave it down some. So let's get our photos and play with our photos and see. Just want to make sure none of them are stuck to the other side of my page. Let's see how these are going to play out. So I have 4 photos, and these are of Aunt Emily's Polynesian Bakery is actually at the MWR hotel where we stayed, and I just never had another layout that I could put it on. We have a daughter named Emily, and she loves to bake, so that was why that was significant. These photos are going to be placed right in the middle of that 3.5 inch blue field. So I'm just trying to make sure the first one is centered so that all the rest will be 2. Because they literally go edge to edge all the way across. As we were done at the turtles and heading back into town, we encountered one of the only rainstorms that we had the entire 9 days that we were there on the island. And we took that to mean that the island was sad to see us go. just as we were sad to say goodbye to the island. So that was significant, and so I took a picture of the rain. This is a photo from the airport. This is inside the airport. You can see the airplanes up here. We were in the terminal, walking to our where we would get on the plane, and they had this down a level from where we were, and there were huge koi in this pond, which was so fun, and so kind of a nice image to say aloha to the island on, you know. So we're going, I just wanted to try to incorporate that into this layout somehow. I think maybe if I push this up so that it's maybe more like 3/8 of an inch from the top, then I'll have a little bit more space to kind of do this with. And I will use this space over here rather than as a title. I will use that as a kind of a journal space, and then I'll make a little title down here that just says Aloha. So I think that will work for my purposes. We could put this underneath slightly, but I don't know if that would matter at all. I could have it kind of cover up those people, maybe. Just sort of like that. And then I can put my little aloha over here with my journaling. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and what to do first. Maybe I'll go ahead and add these photos first. And then we'll finish adhering this part. There we go. This will go. It's really more like 1/4 of an inch from the top, but that's okay. Not critical. All right. And then if I want to, I could, after I put my title on, we could put maybe a little bit of an embellishment right here of some kind. I'll have to go through what I have left and get that there. And so so this is the last layout for the Oahu album, but there will be one more video when I have all the titles done for this second volume of the Oahu photos. Then I will do a flip through and make sure all of my peekaboo pockets are adhered, and talk about anything that I did in addition to change any of the layouts or add to any of them. But for now, the Oahu series is over. I'm so sad, I know. But we have Ireland to look forward to, and that's going to be so fun to do in the beginning of the year. If I can ever get the pictures ordered, I've got to focus on that now. So yeah, let's look forward to that. And until I'm ready to get that started, but hopefully it will be in January that I get that started, I will do Disney layouts for you in January. Until then, though, don't forget, I'll be doing holiday layouts. So we've got the 12 days of holiday layouts coming in December, starting with one here in November, because we have a day that I needed to fill. So there will be a holiday one, at least one. I think there's a project recipe and there's another one before December actually gets here. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you have a great rest of your day. I hope you've enjoyed this series with me, doing all of these layouts of our trip to Oahu. It really was a fantastic vacation with the man that I love and have spent the last 31 now years with, plus a little bit, give or take. And we thoroughly enjoyed it and would love to go back sometime. So maybe there will be a third volume at some point. We'll see. Again, thanks so much for joining me. Until next time, I hope you have many more creative moments. Have a great day.